Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Brooke, how are you feeling?
I am feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
It's 35 weeks where I'm at, so
Holy moly.
it's getting close to baby time, and I am so pumped. I am so excited. Aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were 36 weeks. You're 35?
I'm 35. Come on, babe. Got to keep it up.
Every day goes by. It's amazing. Yeah.
I know. And the baby's like moving around so much. He's just swishing around. It's no longer just little kicks. It's big movements.
Big movements.
And he kicks my ribs all the time, and it drives me nuts.
So what does that feel like? Like, I can't even imagine just getting kicked all the time. And where do you feel it the most? Is it going for walks or at your desk or sitting on the couch in bed? What do you think?
Whenever I'm sitting still, that's when I feel it the most. And it's mostly like at the top because I think his head's down, so I can really feel his legs kicking around. So I'd say more, and especially on the side, on my right side.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the right side, but he's loving it over there.
That's interesting. Why on the right side, do you think? Like, is that just where his little feet are moving? Or
I have no idea.
it'd be so cool. Like, obviously, we have the technology with the ultrasound, but it'd be cool if there was like like put like a GoPro in there and see what's going on all the time.
I think one day, maybe in 2080, they might have that.
That'd be very interesting because you see like 3D pictures, and that's what I've been kind of looking at. Like, what does the baby actually look like inside your stomach?
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be interesting to see one day. But yeah, no, good to hear you're doing good. Yeah, and these days are flying by. These weeks are flying by until the big day, and yeah, taking a little bit of time off to enjoy this. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And we also have a very special day today because it is Jordan's birthday.
That's right, 27.
Woo!
27 years. Thanks, everybody.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 27. No, it doesn't really work.
Yeah, it was a great morning. It started off with a little walk outside, a little power walk, and came back, lifted some weights.
You went by yourself. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is with this third trimester. I am just beat in the morning. I am so tired.
Well, I want you to get a little bit more rest and then, wake up, before obviously we like to get up and start work. So get a little bit more shut eye, which is good. Especially tonight, we'll probably go out and we'll see what happens. But
what are we doing tonight?
Then we found a really good place because it was my brother's birthday last Friday. Only a few days ago. Brett and I's birthday are only 5 days apart. So we went to a great Mexican restaurant in Old Town Langley. That was really, really good. On a Friday night, it wasn't crazy busy. So I think tonight we can get in. We don't have any reservations, so we'll get in there. But street tacos, all the salsas and all the spices. I think we'll do that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens at 4:00. Maybe we'll change our mind.
I don't know. I'm feeling some Mexican food.
Mexican food will probably be pretty good.
Yeah, and
give the baby some joy down there. Yeah.
Is it like really authentic Mexican food? I mean, this is the Flavorful podcast. I mean, it has to be, food has to be just right. It has to be, right?
I would say it's, it was really, really good. Yeah, because I remember when we were there last week, Brett had a really good beef enchilada. That was actually very tasty. I had a couple bites, right? Yeah, we can't finish the whole meal. The burrito's this long or whatever. So you gotta help him out, right? He actually ends up getting that much food, right? So yeah, Mom, Dad, and I were having pieces of his, and everyone else. We all had street tacos. That was great. Mom was like, "Oh, so spicy," but that's okay. Dad and I, we were good, and I want that same exact experience. I think tonight. So I think that's where we'll go. But 27. The years fly by, and last year we were in Hawaii. We were in Maui.
Oh, I miss Hawaii.
Playing pickleball in the little resort there with everybody. That was beautiful. I've never seen the best type of scenery ever, and obviously we live in a great place. The mountains, the water, the desert in Kelowna. Like it's pretty cool. But yeah, it'll be a low key kind of birthday today. Yeah, midweek.
Yeah, and we'll probably do more things on the weekend with the family and all that. So.
Yes, on Friday. Speaking of that, we are going to downtown Vancouver, going to Kobe's. Kobe's, they make the stuff in front of you there. Shing, shing, shing. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. And spring cleaning right around the corner. Baby, yeah, just a fun time of year.
Absolutely. I am so looking forward to these next few weeks. It's just going to be pretty surreal with this baby, and I'm so excited for us to be parents. It's going to be amazing.
It is going to be really fun. Yeah.
Yes. So what are we talking about today?
Well, you came up with this idea for this topic, and I think it's very, very applicable for everybody. And how to build stronger relationships on social media is the focus of what we'll talk about today. And I think it's very powerful because I remember, and I think I shared this a few podcasts ago, when I got my first Facebook account or first social media account. Really, it was Facebook, and you could chat with people and you can do likes and comments.
I felt like a rebel whenever I got Facebook. I'm like, I feel like this isn't good or something. It just felt so different.
Well, they had an age limit or whatever it was, 12 or something like that. So I think I was 12. I think mom and dad waited till the big day came and I can go and get an account on Facebook. And I thought it was very cool how you can like, comment, and share things, and then just over time, obviously evolves into more services like Marketplace and everything. So you can build relationships. Marketplace, we've been doing that like crazy over the last couple of days, selling our patio set that we use for the rooftop, right? So, pretty much sold it for what we bought it 3 years ago. We barely used it. Like, you just get to meet all these interesting people on this site. So, but just relationships alone, you get to really build them, continue them with old friends, and make new ones.
Yeah. And I guess the question is, why is building relationships so important, like on social media anyway? Like, if someone's listening, they're like, oh, why does this apply to me? Especially if you're a business owner or content creator, why is it valuable to build relationships? And I think number one is that if you build strong relationships on social media, they're way more likely to convert to customers. Because if no one knows you on social and then all of a sudden you're pitching your product or service, they're like, I don't even know you, right? So it's like you have to build that trust way before you start selling, right? So that's why building relationships is so important. So that leads me to point number one. Ask your audience about their opinions and their feedback. So this might be like, oh, I don't want to ask my audience about their opinion. I'm scared of what they're going to say. It's like, no, ask their opinion. Even if it's like on your Instagram stories, if say for example, you have a new office that you're setting up, ask your audience, what should I do with the wall? What chair should I get? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that's a good idea? Even with this podcast, in hindsight, it would have been good to even ask our audience, hey, what should we do with this? And then people almost feel like a shareholder in your brand. And they're like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And then you start building that conversation, right?
Yeah, that just goes to show the power of social. And we were even at a conference last weekend, and some of the speakers there, it wasn't a marketing conference, but a lot of the focus of one of the people that were speaking was the negatives of social and being involved on there. And obviously I'm sitting there, obviously disagreeing with a lot of it, but that's just life. If you're on social doing not so bad things like, certain messages you're sending to people or certain comments you're leaving, right? Just, providing hate. That's probably not the best, right? But that's just life. What do you do with, your consumption of alcohol, drugs, how you spend your money? That's just life. So what the speaker was talking about was very interesting. I could see where he's coming from because maybe
I remember him talking.
He's had a negative experience with social, but this is the one method, social media, that you can connect with the world. Right, that's actually kind of powerful. It
is,
and obviously, if you use it for good, that's fantastic, right? So, to your point earlier, what kind of office chair or whatever? Yeah, I mean, you could put out the poll, you could ask the questions, like you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, emails are very effective as well. Obviously, the news is great to connect with the world, but for social, now it's an audience that could participate a little bit better because now you have a profile. So for us in our job, obviously we're wanting to promote the podcast, and we're still early days getting that going, and then the business as well. We're almost a full year into working together full time. So it's just you learn things every day, and for social, it's very crucial that you stay consistent, and you really stick true to your message. Right? You can obviously tweak things along the way, but social, it's powerful.
Absolutely, and I love that you said that. The consistency part, and do what works for you. Obviously, if you're super busy, you might not be able to post every day, but people that see your face or see your brand show up on their feed every day or every other day, they'll just naturally start getting familiar. You might feel like you're super repetitive, right? Like sometimes whenever I post certain things or we post things for our business, I'm like, oh, I'm posting it again. But it's like repetition is power. Yeah. And isn't that a sales tactic? Like you got to just keep repeating your message over and over again. Obviously with social, you don't want to be selling constantly, but sharing your story, sharing your beliefs, share your values, and people are like, man, I love this brand. I want to support that brand. Like, why do people, like, who would you say you look up to on social that you just love their brand and you follow them? Like, is there anyone that comes to mind?
Well, one that comes to mind that you could watch and listen, Dave Ramsey's a good one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty good because he provides a lot of financial advice. There's sprinkling of Christianity in there as well. So that's obviously something that I like to listen to and see where I can take tips and tricks from, right? But I like to listen to a lot of entertainment as well. So on the off day, or not off days, but after work, right? You're going for a workout, wanting to play video games and throw something on. I like to listen to hockey podcasts or something like that, just to take the mind off. So and these people are all over social as well.
That is actually such a good point, because I'm like, pause what you just said there. That is so good. He said the word entertain, and I think a lot of people on social miss this piece, and they're constantly only educating. And I've fallen into this trap where it's almost like you tune out your audience because they're just like, oh, okay, another thing they're teaching me. It's great to provide value, but sometimes people just want to be entertained. They want to laugh. They want to feel a sense of comfort.
Yeah.
And some of the biggest brands that I know, they're not posting anything educational. They're just trying to make you laugh, and they're trying to entertain you. They're trying to make you feel something, right? So that's something that I always try to think of for our brand. Like, how can we entertain people? Like, maybe it's showing them behind the scenes of what we're doing on the weekend. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's showing them us playing music, and they're like, man, they play music? Pickleball, right? And again, it opens up more conversations because people might not know what you're selling, right? So maybe they're like, oh, I like pickleball too. And then, so this is a little trick I actually heard from someone a few weeks ago. Say someone comments on your Instagram stories like, hey, I love that pickleball racket. We'll just go with the pickleball example. Say they comment in your DMs and they say that. Instead of just saying thank you, I mean, that's fine. That's totally fine to do that. Ask a question back. Be like, what pickleball racket do you use? And then it shows, oh man, this person's interested in my life and they care about me. And then it opens up that relationship, and you build that strong relationship. And then your content is going to be shown to more people because they're going to see that, right? So,
Yeah, well, the pickleball racket I use is very good.
Yeah, what do you use?
We mentioned we were in Maui for my last February, and that's where I got mine. So there's a gentleman who owns a pickleball resort there, and he was using it's not a heavy pickleball racket, but it has a little bit of kind of heavy to it, right? So you can actually put a little bit of oomph into it, a little bit of power. So I bought it off of him, and it's the best racket I've ever used. Yeah, and I didn't find it on social. I didn't find it online. It was just, oh, that's a nice racket. Well, what is that? Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, try it out. Okay, boom. Yeah. So you still, life, you still need that human interaction, but for social, you absolutely can just get exposed to so much, and it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you said about that human aspect, and I think that is the sole essence of what people crave on social.
Yeah.
They don't want all the polished stuff anymore. It's great that, don't get me wrong, having a good aesthetic on social media is great, but people want to know that you're human, like behind the brand, especially if you're a service-based business, right? Like people want to know, like, what does this person like to eat? What do they like to do on the weekend, as I said, and be a human, and don't try to put on this persona that you're above everyone else. It's like, no, be human, share the real and raw stuff, right? So this is something I find really hard, is being real, like with my audience, about things that I've failed at or things that haven't worked out. That's really difficult. Like, don't you find?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But those are the types of posts that do really well, when it's like, yeah, I messed up in this way, and this is the lessons that I've learned. It's hard, but I find those posts do really well, and they build that relationship, because people see, oh, that person's not perfect. I struggle with that too, right?
Yeah, obviously for social media, you could build relationships, but also you can, put yourself into maybe a different category that you're actually not really supposed to be in. Like, if you are truly a humble person, you shouldn't brag about everything that you got, all the new stuff,
Exactly.
and what you're doing, right? How much money you're making, which is a lot of what people do, right? Even physique, right? So it's certainly a place where you can elevate yourself pretty quick, but you obviously want to stay humble to who you are. But it's really cool to see what you're doing, posting a lot of what you're doing, because you're being a thought leader when you're doing all this. But you're not really looked at as a thought leader when you're posting and bragging about so much.
Totally.
Right. So I think what we're doing is really, really a good balance. Yeah. And that's what, people can take that for what they want, or not even want to listen to that or not follow that. But you want to know, where the line is.
Yeah, absolutely. And do what feels right for you. And I think sometimes we feel like we have to put on, as I say, this front, or we have to, buy there's nothing wrong with buying new outfits or whatnot, but we have to fit this mold in order to feel like we're successful. And it's like, you don't need to do all that. All you need to do is show up authentically, and people will love you for that. I definitely have had seasons in my life where I remember when I was more of on the content creator side, influencer side, with my sister, when we were doing our Birkin Summer account, I definitely felt like, it was tricky because we were creating content that I thought I liked, but I actually wasn't crazy passionate about only talking about makeup or lifestyle, even though I really liked it. That's why I pivoted to creating a business, helping other people with their social. But anyways, do what feels right for you on social.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess that's the point.
Absolutely.
That's the point.
Yeah. And the next one here would be collaborating with other people in events and in your posts. So, this will expand your network. It'll showcase and introduce people in your life to people online, right? So even with myself, when Brett was staying with us, my brother, for the last few weeks, throw some posts, stories about him, right? Introduce him to the world, right? Because you do want to show your network to people, because maybe they can eventually become friends with them, right? So collaborating with others is huge.
Absolutely. And one of our clients does that really well. They're always collaborating with people, after an event and tagging them on social. That's a great way to open up your network. And I was actually just at an amazing event on the weekend for my good friend Cece, and she, I just met a bunch of women there, and that was great to open up my network and as well as other people's, and see some familiar faces, and that helps build long-term relationships on social, and you eventually become great friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next one is all about engaging with other people's posts. So this is a rule that I try to follow every time I post something on social. Spend like 5 minutes. You can set the timer, because trust me, you will spend all day doing this, engaging with other people, but set the timer and comment back to people that have commented on your posts. I don't know what it is, but some people don't comment back, and it's like, that's so sad. Someone actually spent the time to say, I love this post. And I see so many people that don't respond. Try not to do that. Obviously you can't get to all the comments if you have a lot of engagement, but try to just say heart it, and then say, thank you so much. Maybe ask a question. And just spend time engaging with other people, especially thought leaders in the industry. If, say, for example, you're in the coaching space, who are the top coaches in your industry? Maybe just spend a couple minutes a day engaging with them. You never know. Maybe they might see your comment, and they might pin it, right? So it just helps build those relationships. Maybe down the line you could be on their podcast or something.
You never know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can even turn on notifications on your Instagram. But what are your thoughts on that with like engaging with posts? Like, do you think that should be something people should do all the time?
Absolutely. Yeah. If they're taking the time to message you or talk about your stuff, engage with them, right? And that's what a lot of society is lacking even in this day. Like, the younger generation. Not saying that I'm super old, but
how old are you?
Even though it's my birthday, holy moly! You just gotta really engage with people, and that should be easy online, but it's very difficult in person, right? Just even walking on the street, right? You're walking in front of someone, just little little nod or a little whatever. Try to do that online as well. Hey, thanks so much. It takes maybe 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So just do it for sure.
Absolutely. And if you don't have the time to do it, hire a company like us to help you, because we do that for people. We manage people's social media, and we can help engage with your posts so that people are feeling connected to your brand. So there's always a way.
There is.
There is always a way.
And it does take time, right? You don't want to just leave it on red, right? You do want to have a little bit of a rapport with that person, back and forth, whether that's just in a message, like a Facebook message or Instagram DM, but it can be in the comments as well. Totally agree. Yeah. And then I think the last one here, transparent and honesty, is huge. So you do want to be transparent online, what you're going through, right? Obviously there's some stuff that shouldn't be shared publicly to the world, right? You want to be obviously confidential, depending on if it's involving someone else. But if you're going through stuff, just be a light to someone who might have difficulty sharing this online. So try to rip the Band-Aid off and be transparent with others. I think that's huge. Yeah, obviously social is great to pitch your services and make friends and maintain good relationships with other customers or friends or family. But being transparent is huge. And then they'll see you as a thought leader because, they can talk about anything. I want to be friends with that person, or I want to buy their product. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people are so done with the copy and paste of different. So, for example, like it's very easy to kind of copy exactly who you admire on Instagram or any social media platform, and just, that works for them, I'm gonna just do that. And it's like, you still need to sprinkle in your own perspectives, because that's where people see that you are the thought leader. Because even though you might be saying similar things, it's your experiences, it's your all that stuff. They're like, then they see, this person's unique. Okay, I want to follow this person. Whereas if you're only just sharing exactly what other people in your industry are sharing, they're just going to be swiping on by, saying, okay, I've already seen this before. I already follow people like that. Whereas share your thoughts.
Totally
That's a big
agree.
one.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've come to the end of our episode. We really hope that you enjoyed it. And even if you just take one of these tips and apply it today, that is amazing. Always start small. You don't need to do everything at once. Even just take one of these tips and apply it to your business and your brand. And please share the show. We would really appreciate it. Leave us a review as well on Apple Podcasts, and that really helps the show. And if you found this encouraging, I love it.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you want me to sing happy birthday to you?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
I'll do that later. If you found this very encouraging or helpful, make sure to share it with a friend.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Until next time.